faced a horrific storm, a massive tornado that ripped apart substantial regions of Houston County. Despite the travesty of what has occurred to property, a miracle is that nobody lost their life. You know, property can always be replaced. A life cannot be replaced. And so through effective emergency management, through effective self-preservation by the people who live in Houston County, they were able to withstand this storm with everybody still alive. Now, I understand there have been approximately 10 people who have sustained injuries, one a very severe injury. And I want to keep them in our prayers for a swift and effective recovery for those injuries. And may God be with them as they work their way through the challenges they're facing right now. But they too are fortunate that they sustained those injuries still alive and able to return to their home. It's my understanding that there are about 30 structures that have been damaged in the area. That's an early assessment. As we go for the next day or two and do better assessment, we're going to be able to more specifically identify exactly how many structures have been damaged. Of those damaged structures, about 20 to 25 of them are homes. Some of those homes are places where residents will not be able to stay right now. In typical Houston County fashion, many friends and family members are taking in others who are displaced from home right now. There were about 72 people in shelter, I think in this location last night. They may not be here tonight because of the care and love and support of their family and friends. At this time, we're not able to predict exactly how long it will be before these people will be able to return to their homes. Some may have lost their home altogether. Others may need minor repairs. Others may merely need the power to come back on. So hopefully we will be getting most of these people back into their homes very quickly. That said, as the mayor told me earlier in a meeting, she said that the reality is that most of these people are still in shock. And it's going to take a few hours, if not a few days, for people to come to a reckoning about what exactly has happened and what they need to grapple with and what they need to do in order to take next steps forward. Now, one of those steps that is being undertaken as we speak right now is working to restore power to homes. Understand that when a tornado or tornadoes rip through a county, it's going to topple over power lines and power structure that make it incapable of delivering power to somebody's house. And it takes a while to get those power lines back up. Encore says that they should be able to complete their operations perhaps as early as by midnight tonight. There will be a segment of homes that receive power from Houston County Electric Co-op. And because of the damage done in those areas, those folks may be without power for a day or two. It's premature to make a definitive assessment on that power outage at this time. Just know that those in charge of providing and restoring power are working around the clock to get that power up and running again. Another challenge that is typical when you have tornadoes rip through a particular area is there is damage to the ability for people to obtain communication through cellular devices. That's already improving as we speak, and that too will be up and running as quickly as possible. One thing that we want to ensure, and that is as a state through the Texas Division of Emergency Management, we need to make a dollar assessment of the damages that have occurred. This is important for purposes of establishing a federal disaster declaration. And to the extent that homeowners do have the ability to provide that assessment, I want to give you a location where you can provide that information. It is damages dot tdem dot texas dot gov. I'll tell you again. Did I say damages? I meant damage. Is damage dot tdem dot texas dot gov. You can report it to that site. In addition to that, because of an inability to communicate electronically, the county may be, or the city may be setting up a location where information like that may be able to be shared. I want people in Houston County to know that there is a dedicated person from the Texas Division of Emergency Management who's focused on Houston County. The state of Texas is going to stay working shoulder to shoulder with Houston County every step of the way, all the way through. That said, one thing that I know, and that is Houston County is blessed with great leadership that is loving and caring and supporting all the people in this community. It includes Houston County Judge, the Houston County Sheriff, the Crockett Mayor, the Crockett City Manager, the Crockett Police Chief, the Crockett Fire Chief, as well as State Senator Nichols and State Representative Ashby. And I could go on. There's a long list. You all know all of your officials around here and what they do. This is a community when disaster strikes, people come together and is on display once again and will continue to be on display. Now, I also want to commend all of the first responders in Houston County. Many of those first responders are volunteers. It could be volunteer firefighters or volunteer law enforcement officers, as well as professional firefighters and volunteer officers. Everybody came together and responded extraordinarily effectively, putting their lives on the line, many of them. And so they should all be commended for the way that they responded to come together. Now, unfortunately, the state of Texas was affected by tornadoes in areas larger than just Houston County. And I have issued a disaster declaration for 16 counties at this time. They include Bastrop, Cass, Cook, Grayson, Guadalupe, Houston, Jack, Madison, Marion, Montague, Nacogdoches, Panola, Rusk, Upshur, Williamson, and Wise. As we learn more information, there may be additional counties added to this disaster declaration. What this declaration does, it ensures that Houston County is going to have the resources they need to be able to respond to this devastating storm, as well as it will accelerate the process for which they can be able to recover, to make that recover happen a lot quicker. With all that said, I would like to now turn things over to the county judge to tell you more information about what's going on in the county, and then we'll have other speakers after him.
Thank you, Governor. I've done a lot of welcomes, but not many like this. I do welcome everyone here today. It's not for the reason we would like for it to be, but I especially would like to thank our Governor, Greg Abbott, Chief Nim Kidd. We have our State Representative Trina Ashby, our Senator Robert Nichols. I can't say enough, Governor, about our local first responders here. As I looked around today, both from the air and from the ground, that the linemen that are working, that have been brought in from outside Houston County, they're working tirelessly to be able to restore the electricity. If it can happen by midnight tonight, would be just unbelievable. Also, we have with us, the Red Cross is with us. Chester Jordan is with us. Yes, sir. Thank you for being here with all the assistance that you are providing. You know, the DPS, I would like to thank the DPS today. They provided a helicopter for the emergency management coordinator, Heath Murph, and myself to assess the damage, and we were able to track the storm from the air and get some numbers that the governor mentioned. I just can't say enough that the people in Houston County and how resilient we are. But no big surprise, right? We were the first county ever established in Texas, Governor. So, yes, we are resilient. And yes, we will bounce back, but we appreciate the help.
Sure.
And we appreciate y'all being here to help us, and not only y'all, but all the people behind us very much.
It's a good team.
Thank you. Yes, it is.
Thank you, Judge. Sheriff?
Thank you, Governor. Just to reiterate just a little bit about what the judge said, we do have a great bunch of volunteers, our firefighters, our police officers. You always forget someone, but there's someone that comes to mind that I want to give a shout out to today that I ran across last night as I was trying to make my way into the office to see if we needed anything there, communication stayed up, that sort of thing. But I began to run across citizens who lived in the county who may not be a volunteer fire department member, but they're farmers and they're ranchers and they're citizens of our county that come together as one to try to get this thing behind us. And it was a big help as I was trying to make my way through. I ran across a couple of ranchers or a couple of farmers over on the Halls Bluff Road, and they were cutting a path so that we could get back into town. And sometimes those are the unsung heroes that never get noticed. And I just want to say thank you to those folks. And thank you to you guys, all of you. You've done a great job. And I better say thank you to my staff before I show back up in the morning. So thank all the guys and the gals at the sheriff's office. We have a good group of people in Houston County, Governor, and things like this is what brings us together.
That's right.
And we here on the same page for the same goal, and we get it done.
Very good. Exactly
Thank
right.
you.
Sure. Mayor?
Well, I thank everybody. Governor, we do appreciate you being here so much. I guess one thing that I can speak to is the people, other people, how blessed we are. When I went through and saw all the things that had happened earlier, I was just so grateful to God that no lives had been lost. And not only that, the response, as has been mentioned, about how all the people have come together, and it's really, we know we have needs, but there's kind of masked at this point because everybody's giving a lot of things. But one of the things that we want to ensure is that through proper coordination with all of these responders and all of the people that are going to be in designated places, that it shouldn't be a need that goes unmet simply because we amassed a lot of things but didn't distribute them. So what we want to say is that we're about people. We're about restoration, and not only that, we're about ensuring that you don't lose your spirit, you don't lose your confidence, that you know that there's always someone here to support you. And so we're really proud of all of the things that have gone forth, and we're looking forward to just a well-organized recovery, long-term, and then we'll pick up and continue to do the great things that we're capable of. Thank you so much, and all of the support staff.
Thank you, Mayor. Chief Kidd.
Thank you, Governor. We never can thank our responders enough. In an era of volunteerism decline, it is very refreshing to know that there are so many people out there willing to just stop what they're doing and help another, and I'm very grateful for that. Life safety will always be our #1 priority. As we've established the life safety requirements for this community, we will start working on property conservation, the cleanup, the pickup of those homes, start to do the debris removal. We need people, if they have insurance, to call their insurance company for businesses or for their homes and start that insurance claim process, and that will help us with the damage assessments. If we meet our thresholds for federal assistance, it is on the uninsured loss for homes and for the government structure. So we'll be working very close with the local teams to make that happen. And then finally, I'd just like to thank the folks at Encore for such a rapid response to such damages. I know there'll be some other power outages for a while, and we'll be working with the local co-ops to get those back up. But at this point, I really want to thank Encore for their swift response.
Thank you. We'll be happy to take a few questions.
Obviously, a lot of people are dealing with a lot of damage and a lot of heartbreak out in that neighborhood, off Norman Lane specifically. What would you or any of these local folks say
The strength of this county and community is as well as supportive. Everybody at this table, everybody standing behind us, people who are not in this room right now, stand ready to assist anybody who's been victimized by the storm in any way whatsoever, whether it be with housing, with shelter, with food, with water, whatever supplies they need, health care. Whatever need anybody has as a result of this storm, we have the capability of delivering that support for them. We want everybody to get back on their feet as quickly as possible. We will help them do that.
Governor Hunter Davis with Fox. Between the wildfires and now this multi-tornado outbreak in the state of Texas, you've got a lot of people without homes, and unfortunately, a lot of them are concerned about the possibility for rebuilding. We've got COVID backlogs and stuff like that. Is there any conversation with FEMA for maybe bringing in permanent counseling or anything like that to help these people get in place?
So I'll answer in part, and I think Chief Kidd wants to answer in part. First, let me address this, and that is you brought up the fact that there are multiple disasters happening in different locations across the state of Texas. It's important for people of the state of Texas to know that the state has abundant resources to be able to respond to all of these disasters. We are simultaneously helping people who've been victimized by tornadoes, as well as those victimized by fire, as well as candidly dealing with a blizzard up in the Panhandle. And so whatever the weather, whatever the location, the state of Texas is ready to step up and help. Thanks to the members of the legislature who are with us today, the state of Texas has the resources to be able to respond to all of these disasters. With regard to interconnectedness with FEMA, that's the job of Chief Nim Kidd of the Texas Division of Emergency Management. I'll have him answer that question.
And thank you very much for the way that you asked that question. That just really helps us push back out. The way the federal government offers aid to states is based on a formula of population. For the damages to infrastructure, we need about $50 million of uninsured loss statewide in order to get public assistance from FEMA turned on. To give money to people that own or rent homes, I need about 800 homes across the state that have major damage that are uninsured, which goes back again to why reporting damages at damage.tdm.texas.gov is the fastest way to get us to that decision point. We are in constant contact with our federal partners. I talked to Tony Robinson, our regional administrator, on the way here today. We'll touch base again at the end of this day. Every day, Tony and I are talking multiple times in order to help bring those numbers together to see if we qualify for federal assistance. If we don't, then I know it's our volunteer organizations active in disaster that are already here in this county helping clean up and will help rebuild as well that we will lean on heavier in order to help people get back as fast as they can.
One thing, especially because Louisiana is our neighbor, we're in constant contact with them whenever there are disasters, typically hurricanes. And there have been no requests for support at this particular time. If they need support, we're more than happy to help, and vice versa. They are always offering us help whenever we need it. We're great neighbors with our friends in Louisiana, as well as others in Arkansas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico. Thank you all.
Gorgeous weekend. Gorgeous weekend. That's good news.
Oh, yeah.
You got your plug? Moment of zen. Take it easy. Oh. Bambina. It's still cool out here. What'd you say, the north? Let's see, what do you think, right out here? How about here? Oh, goodness gracious. Governor Abbott, tell you what. And we're just slaying this package together. It's pretty simple.
Guys, you gotta be careful on your way home.
You do the same.
I didn't know the governor was
You have a
coming
shorter
today.
drive than we do.
Yeah, a little bit. Y'all take care. It's nice to have met y'all.
You
today.
too. Oh, is the sun right behind me?
Kind of, but it's been covered by the clouds.
We could go under the thing if you needed to.
Let's do that. Just to
Or
see.
up here in the shade.
Yeah.
Would you rather go under?
Right here, bro. Right over here.
I mean, we'll definitely be in the shade under
It's
there.
over there, yeah.